What's something that you've done while horny and you regret it? Was in China. Rode a train for 2 hours to meet a girl. Didn't have sex. A terrible blowjob. She got tired after a minute then cried 'cause she missed her ex. Asked my husband to use the whip on me when I was on my knees. He has terrible aim. He literally whipped my pussy on accident and it was unlike any kind of pain I'd ever felt and I've given birth 3 times. Edit. I promise I'm not completely without manners. Thanks for all the generous votes and awards. People. My whipped pussy tips its hat to you. Not my experience. But my fiance told me about the time when he was first learning about jacking off. He used toothpaste as lube to jack off. His reasoning was that it made your mouth tingle. So why not down there? Lol, he said it was the worst decision of his life. Edit. My fiance asked me to add that the toothpaste was the 90s Aquafresh with the different colors. He also thanks everyone for laughing in his misery. A guy the first met at a bar weeks before invited me over to watch some movies. I was extremely horny. Extremely drunk and extremely bleeding out of my V. He made a move on me. I said I'd love to but it's the wrong time of the month for it. He just shrugged and said I shouldn't worry. He likes that kinda thing. Cue to him flinging a soaked up tampon out of my V. Splattering blood everywhere in the process. The sex was good. The murder scene after not so much. Definitely wouldn't agree again. Maybe 15 to 20 years ago. Still living at home with siblings. I thought it would be a great idea to print off a bunch of pictures of close-up vaginas. Pin them all over the wall in the downstairs washroom like some serial killer. And spend the day in my vagina room doing whatever. Evidently I left some in the print queue. And they finally printed later when my sister used the computer. All I remember hearing was her yelling, "Oh God, your vaginas are printing. Your vaginas are printing." Never lived that one down. Mom was also upset about the holes in the bathroom wall. You know those silicone-ass things they have in sex shops for like $300? When I was in Montreal in my sophomore year of college, I tried to buy one. My debit card got declined. So I didn't buy it. I got a call from my dad that evening saying someone in Montreal must have stole it from me. And I had to do the talk of shame explaining that I really did do that. Not me, but a friend. He drove to another city to lose his virginity. He was up all night with the girl. So he fell asleep on the ride home. Totaled his car. He told his parents he was staying at my house overnight. So it was awkward conversation when he had to call his parents to explain why he totaled his car about 100 miles from home. Edit. He actually did get laid. He said it wasn't worth it. A football game was on. And had gotten a better TV. Mentioned that to an ex. And offered to buy dinner from a place she liked. She ate the food like she hadn't eaten in 3 days and gotten food all over her face. Claims the food was that good. She goes to bathroom to wash and comes out naked. She spreads out on the floor and says do me. I'm 5 feet away. And the smell hits me. I say let me go to the bathroom first. And I end up puking from the smell. A stripper let me jack off in front of her once. That and another time I fucked a hamburger. Stupidly traded nudes with a guy the first met online. He kept trying to get me to meet up for sex and I refused. One day he told me he found me on Facebook and if I didn't meet up with him he would send all my nudes to everyone on my Facebook friends list. So me young and terrified I meet up with him for sex. He lets me delete all the photos of me from his phone. After I leave I get a text from his wife saying she found my number on his phone and wanted to know if we had had sex. I told her the story and that I literally just left and of course had no idea he was married and that he blackmailed me. She apologized for what he had done saying it's not the first girl he's done it to. Still feel dirty and a shit ton of guilt after that years later. Using the twin percussion handheld back massager on my dick. NGL it felt really fucking good. But it left a lingering tender feeling that had me walking funny for a bit. Happened when I was but a wee mid-teen. In my early teen years. I accidentally made my clit burn using Vicks VapoRub that was supposed to give it a tingling sensation. I watched way too much BDSM and got ideas. I was in immense pain and was lying spread out under cold water to try and make it stop, and I couldn't tell my extremely religious parents or they would have freaked out. When I was about 12 to 13. I had just learned about sex. One day I was super horny and was playing with my dad's back massager. I quickly realized that it felt really good to press it on my dick. I took it into my bedroom and went to town. My mom was walking by and heard the noise, so she just let herself in. Needless to say, things were weird after that for a bit. And she hid the massager. Ruined a jar of peanut butter. Not sure if this counts, but was about to do it with a guy and discovered we had no condoms. Decided to drive across town to his place, since he had some. Got in a minor, not our fault, car accident on the way there. Ended up at the cop station to report it instead of banging. Her name was Annie. And she stalked me for 2 years after that. Using shampoo to jerk off. Worst piss pain ever. Fucked my landlord. He lived in the same building on the floor below me with his ex-fiance. It was actually pretty fun until he started monitoring when I was home and knocking on my door when he knew I was home alone. Had to put an end to that real quick. My only regret is not getting a discount on rent. When I was a stupid teen, I put an ice cube in my vagina. My reasoning was that if hot water felt nice, maybe something extremely cold would. It did not feel nice. It was horrible. And I couldn't remove it. 3 minutes of agony. Tried to suck my own dick while taking a bath while with hips up. Surprise, surprise, tubs are slippery and I ended up with my neck caught under my arm as I did a back roll and landed on my side. Involuntarily gasped in pain and began to choke on water. Almost drowned in my own fucking bathtub. My neck also hurt like hell for a week. Edit. No Jesus fuck. Why didn't I post this on a throwaway underscore? Thanks for the awards. Gonna drown my sorrows in karma. I was 16 or 17. Girlfriend wanted to try some anal for both of our first times. When my parents went to sleep. Okay, cool. Of course. We didn't have any lube. We improvised and thought lotion would suffice. Turns out we were wrong and her asshole burned for a week. Also, shit everywhere on my dick. Perhaps the two have nothing to do with one another. But I was traumatized all the same. Def tried it again with the right products in. Edit. Well, it's too cool get off work and see that my most upvoted comment ever is an anecdote about failed teenage ass fucking. Never change Reddit. I love you. Drove 1,200 miles. Late to the game. And this will get buried, but I knocked up my ex-wife 1 month after our divorce was final. Friend passed away due to a trucking accident. Went on Tinder due to desired needs after a divorce. Took a chick's virginity and later found out she was the friend's sister visiting for the few weeks till they figured out the funeral. Never told anyone about this. This happened when I was like 19. Just got broken up with. Was working late and the IT guy who I had a slight crush on was at my desk just shooting the shit with me. I told him about my recent breakup. He called my ex an idiot. Complimented me. Made me feel great and next thing I know he's behind me railing me out on the desk. He had a long-term girlfriend so I felt terrible afterwards and we were really awkward around each other after that. I quit about 2 months later and he moved to a different office because his GF didn't like that he worked around mainly women. She was right to be worried. Not my story. But my old band mates. So here we have a horny teenager. He was maybe 16 at the time and he just came out as gay this year. He had been experimenting and we were bros so he would always overshare these experiences. Well, one day he tells me he had made a huge mistake. He really wanted to know what something bigger than his fingers felt like. And he had heard of people using cucumbers as dildos. That said, he only had pickles at home. He did not, however, account for the vinegar and spices. I don't know the pain he felt. But I do know he regretted it immediately. Edit. This is the most upvoted thing I've ever had on Reddit. For what it's worth, he played bass. Thanks guys. Asked a escort to come over to my house at 2 a.m. instead of jerking off like ya know for free. Well, she and 3 other guys ended up kicking in my door and robbing me and my house. 0 tenths never again. Edit. Holy shit, thank you for the awards. This is my most popular comment by far. I appreciate you all. I was edging for 3 hours. Had the idea that tying my dick with a shoelace would hold everything together for at least another hour. It held on for 2 and nutted so hard I felt some pain on my abdomen and legs. Took me an extra hour to sleep and the next day my whole body was fatigued. Thought I twisted my testicle or some shit. I recovered after around 48 hours. Edit. Thank you for the awards. Also for context. I live alone and life got stuck in limbo when the pandemic ramped up. I edged from 8 p.m. to some time past 1 a.m. I had no regard for health. Which explains my lack of hydration, so no, it wasn't drugs. I was just an idiot. I probably still am. No. It was never a good idea in the first place. That was sort of the point. Yes, it was the best nut of my life. Fucked a couch when I was like 13. I was at a sleepover at my mom's boss's house. I was friends with her kids. And it was like 2 a.m. and my dick was saying it's go time. I heard Shane Dawson or some other YouTuber at the time say they fucked a couch, so I thought I'd give it a go. I cut my dick on the cushion zipper and I think my couch fucking days are over. Edit. Thanks for my first award. Aw yes. Her name was Autumn. One faked pregnancy later and I still don't date girls named after seasons. Edit. Can't believe this is the comment to blow up. Advice. Don't stick your dick in crazy boys. Edit 2. Added the comma. But it's funnier without it.